My wife introduced me as her roommate. I just smiled, played it cool, and called a lawyer. So, this was my second marriage. I'd already been through the whole starting over thing once, and I swore I'd do it smarter this time. Laura had a kid, I had a kid, and we decided to blend everything into one house like that was just a normal, simple decision. It wasn't. It was work, real work. We also moved for her job. New area, new schools, new grocery store, new everything. The kind of move where you don't even know which light switch does what for like 2 weeks. At first, things were honestly fine. Busy, chaotic, but fine. We had one of those whiteboards on the fridge because if you don't, you just forget stuff and everyone's mad. Then the family issues started. She said her sister was going through it. Breakup, money stress, just a mess. Laura kept saying, I can't just leave her like this. And I got it. I really did. So the first time she went over there, I didn't even blink. Second time, still nothing. Then it turned into a pattern. Like once a week became twice, and then suddenly it was these long visits that somehow always slid into the evening. And here's the part that's hard to explain without sounding crazy, but she'd come home tired but also kind of wired, like she just had coffee at 9 p.m. She'd be quiet for a bit, then she'd be weirdly upbeat. I noticed it. I just didn't want to be that guy. You know, the suspicious guy who ruins his own marriage by hunting for problems. Around that same time, we met the neighbor 2 doors down. Evan, mid-30s, work from home, always outside doing something. The kind of guy who's friendly in a way that feels normal, until later, when you start replaying everything and you're like, oh, that wasn't normal. He helped us move a couch one day, remembered the kids' names, asked Laura questions like he already knew her, which I didn't love, but I told myself I was just being territorial. One Saturday, Laura said she was going to help her sister again. She kissed me, grabbed her keys, and walked out. And I remember this clearly because it stood out. She forgot her purse. Laura never forgot her purse, ever. I even thought about texting her like, hey, you left it, but I didn't. I figured she'd come back for it in 2 minutes. She didn't. I told myself it was nothing. It's funny how hard your brain works to protect you from the obvious. A few weeks later, my buddy Mark came through town. Mark knew Laura from years back, like from before she met me. He was in the area for work and stopped by on a Sunday afternoon. We're sitting out back, kids running in and out, normal day. Laura goes inside at one point because she gets a call, and Mark super casually goes, so how's Laura holding up with everything with Evan? I laughed, like I actually laughed, because I thought he was messing with me. I go, who's Evan? And Mark just stopped, like his whole face changed. He looked at me, then toward the house, then back at me like, oh no. He goes, the neighbor. She's been helping him out since his mom passed, right? My stomach did that drop thing, but I kept my voice calm because I didn't want to freak out in front of him. I go, his mom passed? Mark's like, yeah, that's what Laura told me. She said she was over there a lot because of it. And in that moment, something just clicked. Not anger, not even sadness yet. Just this cold thought like, okay, so she's telling different stories to different people. That night, I didn't confront her. I didn't do the dramatic thing. I did dishes, packed lunches, got the kids to bed, smiled at her like everything was normal. But inside, I was running it back over and over like a security camera. A couple of days later, Laura says she needs to go check on her sister again. I just nodded. Okay, she leaves. I wait maybe 10 minutes because I didn't want to look like some psycho following her out the driveway. Then I put on shoes and walked down the block like I was just getting some air. Evan's porch light was on, and Laura's car was in his driveway. I didn't knock. I didn't storm up there. I just stood there for a second, hands in my pockets, looking at her car like, I don't know, like my brain needed proof it was real. Then I walked back home. That's when I did something I never thought I'd do in my life. I called a lawyer, not like, I'm filing tomorrow. Nothing like that. More like, I needed someone to tell me what to do if things went sideways, because I had a kid to think about, and I wasn't about to get wiped out financially because I trusted the wrong person. The lawyer basically told me, keep your cool, separate finances, write down dates, don't blow up in a way you can't undo. So I did, and I asked Mark to come by again the next weekend. I didn't even fully explain why. I just said, hey, can you swing through? I need you here. Saturday comes. Laura's getting ready to leave again. Same story. Before she walks out, I go, hey, can we talk for a minute? Mark's here. She pauses, just for a second. But it was enough. Because when someone's innocent, they don't do that pause. They just look confused. Mark's sitting at the kitchen table, looking uncomfortable already. Laura's by the counter with her keys in her hand. I keep my voice calm. I wasn't trying to win a yelling match. I just wanted the truth. I go, can you explain why Mark thinks you've been helping Evan because his mom died? She laughs like this quick, sharp laugh. What? That's not what I said. Mark goes quietly. Laura, it is. You told me that. More than once. She turns on him like he betrayed her. You misunderstood. I look at her and go, Laura, I've seen your car in his driveway. And then she went quiet. That kind of quiet where you realize you're not getting a clean confession. You're getting a scramble. She starts talking fast, saying I'm paranoid, bringing up my first marriage, saying I'm seeing problems that aren't there. Then she shifts into this thing like, he just listens. He understands what I'm dealing with. And I'm standing there like, okay, so you're basically describing an emotional relationship with the guy, and you think the problem is my tone right now? I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I just said, on Monday, I'm opening a separate account. I'm freezing shared cards. I already talked to a lawyer. We're not doing the shared life thing while you're doing whatever this is. That's when she got mad, not sad, mad. She goes, so you're humiliating me in front of Mark? And I said, you want to talk humiliation? You introduced me to Evan last week as your roommate. That was the first time I said it out loud. Mark's eyebrows went up like, wait, what? Laura looked down at the floor. That night she didn't go to her sister's. She didn't go to Evan's either, at least not that she admitted. She just left for a drive and came back late. I slept on the couch. Not as a dramatic statement, I just didn't want to share a bed with someone I couldn't recognize anymore. The next few weeks were this exhausting in-between stage where she tried to fix it without actually being honest. She said she'd stop going over there. She said she wanted to work on us. She suggested counseling. She wanted time. And I kept thinking, time for what? Time for you to decide which life you want? Meanwhile, I did the boring stuff, the grown-up stuff, separate accounts, bills split, everything documented, kids' schedules written down, no screaming fights in front of them, no revenge, just clean boundaries. At some point, she finally admitted it wasn't nothing, but she still wouldn't call it what it was. She kept trying to keep it in this gray area where she wasn't the villain. And honestly, I didn't need her to say the exact words. I'd already heard enough. So yeah, we separated. We co-parent now. It's not perfect, but it's calmer than living in that constant fog of not knowing what's real. The kids adjusted faster than I expected. They always do, which is both heartbreaking and kind of amazing. And Evan? I still see him sometimes. Same neighborhood, same sidewalks. We do that dumb guy thing where we nod like we're strangers. No words, just a nod. And that's fine. Because the truth is, I don't need closure from him. I needed clarity from my own life. So if you're listening to this and you're in that stage where something feels off, but you keep telling yourself you're overthinking it, I get it. I really do. I told myself that for weeks. And if I could go back, I wouldn't have done anything louder. I just